Welcome back. Thank you for staying with KTN Prime. Right now, we want to focus on the SH procurement irregularities. But just before we do that, an update on SH, where the ministry published payments made to all hospitals totaling 11.4 billion shillings that was disbursed between December 3rd to February 3rd. Of course, this coming in the backdrop of glaring inconsistencies in the SH procurement system, which was highlighted by the Auditor General's report. She definitely highlighted that the procurement was directly from 3 companies through single sourcing. There was a breach of procurement rules right there. There was lack of payment agreement or arrangement agreement and unfavorable contract clauses, and equally a lack of risk assessment. Let's just listen in to what the Auditor General had to say, including sentiments shared by the Ministry of Health officials thereafter.
To every report that comes before you, where I pay attention to what it says. So already I have concluded that there was no effectiveness or lawfulness in the use of public resources under those matters. Then I have the third section that now looks inward into the entity in terms of governance, in terms of risk management, in terms of the internal controls the Honourable Member is raising. And I also give a conclusion. And I said these matters have affected internal controls, or internal controls are not being followed. The governance structure has problems. There is no risk management. And hence, then we have all these issues happening under effectiveness and under the opinion matters fiscal. So my report is very clear on that I have already pronounced myself on the issues that were not lawful and that were not effective.
So for the Auditor General, we are cognizant of the issues that were raised by the Auditor General. The Ministry clarified and substantiated each issue and provided the management report to the Auditor General. These issues have been comprehensively addressed by the accounting officer, who is PS, Medical Services. And again, they will be expounded more exhaustively in Parliament if given a chance. So again, we have the reports ready, they have been expounded, and we are ready to share that.
I can't tell, to be honest, whether it's malice or complete lack of understanding of how the program has been conceptualized on the part of the Office of the Auditor General. Therefore, because I'd like to give benefit of doubt and respectfully disagree with her and say this is in the course of her work, I'll take time to maybe respond to some of the issues that have been raised, because I saw that particular report and there are certain things that she's raising about the procurement process. She says, oh, it was not fair and competitive. The question that she doesn't respond to is that Section 114 of Public Procurement and Disposal Act of 2014 allows for that kind of specialized procurement process that was used to bring on board. Remember, we are not just aliens who've landed into Kenya. We know how difficult it is to procure a program of this magnitude in this country. Do you have a rough idea how much of default payment government pays each year for procurement programs of this magnitude that fail to take off because of battles in court for 5, 10, 15, 20 years?
Okay, that was the Senate Majority Leader, Aaron Cheriot, who we hosted just last week. His reflection on the issues that were highlighted by the Auditor General's report, especially the procurement irregularities. Onyonka, he seems to be pointing to 114 of the Procurement Act, sort of trying to justify why exactly this particular process was fast-forwarded, it wasn't competitive, you know, but...
Does 114 tell you that we must do it in an opaque manner?
Let's just hold on to your thoughts. Let's start with Omtata as we sort out our issues. Omtata, you're actually in court. Give us an update on the court ruling. Or
first of all,
court case.
I moved the court in time before the SH was rolled out. The scam is that in the contract that was signed on 9th of August, these characters say that they need 2 years to set up a system before they can roll it out. They sign a contract on 9th of August. They roll out a system on 1st of October. It cannot be. They should be rolling out that system on 8th of August 2026. That's when SH should technically roll out, as per the report. This is a scam where they're stealing from us. But I want to answer Cheriot on 114. 114 was smuggled into the public finance, into the Public Procurement and Asset Disposal Act by the Finance Bill of 2017. It was smuggled in. It was put as an innocuous clause and smuggled in. But now, even the chief SHA does not comply with 114 because they talk of specially permitted procurement procedure hyphen single sourcing method, which does not exist. So, the specially permitted, and then you go on if you go to Regulation 107 of that operationalizes 114, you find that it requires the minister to prescribe a procurement procedure. There's no procurement procedure specially permitted that the Minister for Finance prescribed for the SHA. They went back and played around with the request for proposals and they did whatever. And even some of the companies, even in the request for proposal, a company like Apiero, which is carrying 44 billion of the 104. Apiero was about 6 months old when the contract was signed in August, but the request for proposal requires them to be at least 3 years old. Apiero did not produce a single financial statement. It produced a financial statement of a company called Cyrus, based in Dubai.
Okay.
And Cyrus writes a letter saying, okay, they know Apiero, but they cannot take legal responsibility for what it will do. So these are masquerading companies. Safaricom, which is taking about 8 billion out of the whole thing, is offering absolutely nothing because Safaricom itself uses the government backbone. The backbone of data across the country is run by the government of Kenya. That's why banks and whatever don't use Safaricom for their ERP systems. So what we are dealing with is just a scam. We have the data protection, the health data agency, which is supposed to provide this ERP. It was operationalized in December 2022. It should have carried out these programs. If it did not have personnel, it should have gone to the government and said, okay, second personnel to us so that we can do the procurement. What the Minister for Finance is saying, the Minister for Health is saying that the PS for Health is the accounting officer for chief and SHA is nonsense. The accounting officer for this ERP, it's just a platform, is the CEO of the health data agency.
Okay.
So when you look at the whole thing in its totality, it's a complete scam. Already they have begun paying them. They say they need 2 years to set up before they roll out. They rolled out after 1 month. And on 25th of February, they were paid 500 million shillings. And it's going on by the time of the next 2 months, they'll begin paying them over 1 billion shillings a month. If you got the salaries of the employees, a project manager is earning 5 million shillings in USD, more than 5 million shillings, tax-free in USD.
Okay.
The lowest paid expatriate who basically handles the stores, handles the flash disks and whatever, if you look at the description, is earning 2 million shillings. We can't afford to pay this kind of salaries, even if the share shift thing was okay. But fundamentally, what shift are we taking in our health care? What is the philosophical underpinning? What's the philosophical and the theory underpinning universal health care? Universal health care means anybody who needs health care gets health care.
Okay.
Shift SHA is that you pay a premium to qualify, which means if you can't pay a premium, you can't qualify. Number two, universal health care is based on rights. Health care as a right. When you go to the Shift SHA, it's health care as a profit. That's why people are investing to make profit of 104 billion, to make profit of what? Number three, universal health care is run on government hospitals. The Shift SHA is running on private hospitals because government hospitals have collapsed.
Okay.
Let us go back and do the basic thing, revive our hospitals, brand hospital material in hospital stores. When I was growing up, we had universal health care. You could go to a clinic, you are treated. The Panadol is branded GOK. The gloves or whatever are branded GOK. Now, unless we do that, to make sure that we ring fence government stores from the market, you find that people steal government stores, put in the market and whatever. And ultimately, what has happened in Kenya is that market forces have taken over from political action. The polity is no longer run by political action, it's run by market forces. That's why even in building roads,
it's the same.
Kera, Kura, Kena don't have a wheelbarrow between them. They just do tenders.
Yes.
And so every road built in Kenya is built at a market rate. The government has lost the capacity to build any road at cost. And our engineers are idle. These people are masquerading as road builders from all over here. So our state is captured by entrepreneurs and whatever. So
it's by design.
It's a design. And that's the thing we want to destroy. And that's the thing I was telling you when I looked at the manifesto of Azimio, the manifesto of Kenya Kwanza, all were just arrant nonsense. They cannot fix this country.
He's an Azimio member, you know. So.
No. I will tell you this. I support him. In fact, I can tell you, they didn't understand what they were dealing with. No, they don't. I mean, how can it be normal that we're the only country in East and Central Africa where we do a tarmac road at 70 million shillings?
A kilometer.
How? I mean, if you just look at our country and it's like, Jesus, what happened to everybody around here?
So why did we dismantle the Ministry of Roads
and Public Works?
Roads and Public Works.
And then you create Kenha, Kurha, and then you have Kera at the constituency, and then everybody in Kenya is talking about that, we don't know what happened to our members of parliament. The money that is given out for road construction in our constituencies and in our areas by the county governors and everything, that is the kickback that is shared from the top to the ward.
So tell me this, as legislators, because the role of Parliament is to investigate further into the Auditor General's report, the Control of Budgets report, and decide the next course of action. With the amorphous situation we have in Parliament, where, ODM leaders are sort of in government, what will we do with this Auditor General's report? What next? Is there any hope in Parliament?
That's why we want to go and wage war in the Senate. And say that we evict these people, they go on the government side.
Yeah.
The remnant takes over these committees, and that's oversight. But
that's what we are going to do.
I want to tell you one thing, that the Auditor General's report is almost word for word with the case I filed in September last year. So when you look at it, that I did that finding at the time, and the Auditor General has validated my findings, then you realize that maybe the courts were wrong not to stop this thing. Because I moved the court in time to stop this haste. And if the court had the guts, I know the court had the brains because of the way the judge analyzed my case. But he lacked the guts to stop this theft. But we are still in court, and we hope that the final verdict will save us. But these are people who have got no money. This money that is going cannot be recovered from them. They have got no assets.
They have got nothing.
They have got nothing.
They have no local address.
Yeah, they have no local address, they have nothing. So they're just conmen. And the biggest danger is that they are handing over our health data
to foreigners.
Foreigners, entities we don't know.
Foreigners.
Yet.
And this is, Senator Oki, this is what I asked somebody. How can you allow somebody to have your blood types in the areas you come from, the type of disease in that place, your genealogical data and your DNA take-ups and all that, and you just give it to foreigners? And yet we have a Ministry of Health where all this information is actually supposed to be domiciled.
As a strategic.
It's like a server.
Yeah.
How do you pick? These are the things that are making people like me begin to say, what is it that can be done? And I've been telling Oki Umtata that the truth is so many Kenyans don't know what is going on, and they don't understand the implications of the things going on. My fear is that by the time this whole thing is cleared up, if any people say Ruto must go in the next 5 years, it may take Kenya 30 years to recover from the mess we are in.
To right the wrongs.
Yes. I mean, everything is just dysfunctional. Kenya never used to be like this. I mean, a teacher would get a letter from college and he or she would then go to the college and the government said your fee will be paid to the college. And teachers were paid. I mean.
And so we have got work on our hands.
Okay.
And we are going to fight it because darkness never wins against light. Even just a candle in a dark cave defeats the darkness. So what we want to do is that, as he says, they have been riding on the ignorance of Kenyans.
Yes.
But thank God that we have got a generation that has come up that is equipped to be informed. We have got this social media, we've got all these other things. You see the way they informed each other about the finance bill of 2024. And they're able to take action.
Okay.
So those are the kind of things that we're going to use information to liberate this country. And the days when we looked at, we stopped looking for messiahs and go back and say our messiah is the Constitution.
Yes.
Be faithful to the Constitution. No individual human being who breathes in and out is going to be our messiah. Let the law be our messiah.
Simple.
Let us implement court orders.
Okay.
Let us respect everything. That way this country will come together. But also Parliament, let us operationalize the Constitution by creating those institutions. And bottom line, let us reject NADCO and all those who are pushing it. Because NADCO is really a poisoned chalice.
Yes.
So there's no good in NADCO. We're not throwing the baby in the bathwater. The IBC bill seems to
let me ask you a question. Okay, because you are always there, but let me ask as a street vendor. Why do you think people want to remove the Chief Justice and the Supreme Court judges?
Okay, as we finalize, because we're pressed for time, you have presidential ambitions, and those who are the critics, the naysayers that say that this is a two-horse race, that, your ambitions are dead on arrival. Well, what do you tell the naysayers?
People talking horses and some of us are using tanks. During the Second World War,
briefly,
Poland had a beautiful army of horses.
Okay.
But when the Germans arrived with the tanks, they didn't know what to do. So this is a new game. It's a new game plan. We are not going to play politics the way we have been playing it. In our rallies, we will not hear anything like Tialala, Tibim, Hatupangwingwi. Those are not going to be our campaign issues. We are going to have a different. We're not going to do that.
Okay.
Our politics are not going to be for entertainment.
Okay.
Our politics are going to be for development, and we are going to come up with very clear blueprints. And my agenda is to show a blueprint that can move Kenya from 1,900 USD per capita to 30,000 USD per capita.
Okay.
And that is going to be the agenda. And I will give it to Kenyans, and the Kenyans will decide. And we are going to move the people away from the barons.
So you believe change can come from the electorate?
It's going to come from the electorate.
Okay. Onyonka, finally, perhaps air out the issues emanating from the Gusii Stadium incident. You seem to have been mentioned in certain corners that you might have been behind the heckling incident. And equally, what's the need of Gusii and Kuria leaders to meet?
Thank you. I would like to tell Kenyans that if I'm able to put 10,000 people in a stadium and I bribe them to vote Jacom, then I'm a very serious boy.
Okay.
The truth is, those young men have been dealing with issues that were not really political, but they were affiliated. You see, this political consequence we keep talking about. What do you talk about? How do you handle us? Now, the truth is that when Raila was in Kisii and he said that my friend Fred Matiang'i cannot run for president because the Kisii community, in fact, has a few things which you can just throw if you want to throw them into a dustbin. And yet, in reality, tribal profiling, which has made our community become extremely anxious, which has made our community to really go out and try and fit because we fear the rejection that we've received because we are a minority, is what Mzee Raila basically came and told us that's who we are. So that reaction was spontaneous. It was not about me. It was not about Kibagendi. I swear by the Bible, and I'm
Okay.
Catholic.
All right.
I never spent 5 bob. Number 2, I would like to think that the time has reached where Kenyans of good faith, Mtata, I support my friend Frem Matiang'i wants to run for president. I believe these two will meet.
Okay.
I believe you guys will engage. I believe at some point you will meet
Convergence
with all
of
the
ideas.
Kenyans who want our country to change.
Okay.
For me, if I am in this time and I'm doing my job, which I love incredibly, the risks are amazing. I mean, enormous. You ask him. We are always trying to look at the mirror of your car, and
Okay.
you're looking at your house and all that. The truth is, the fear is gone now for all of us. The fear is gone.
Okay.
Because the risk of failure is bigger than our deaths. That's where we are.
Okay, it's a matter of context. Thank you so much, Senators. We definitely hope there'll be progress, especially when it comes to those oversight committees, as you've mentioned, as a fourth estate will be watching. Thank you so much for your contributions and your input right here. Senator Richard Onyonka and
you.
Senator Okiya Omtata, may you continue doing the Lord's work. That's how we wrap up tonight's edition of KTN Prime. Thank you so much for watching. On behalf of the entire team, including Ashley Mazuri and our sign language interpreter, we say good evening and good night. Enjoy the rest of your viewing.